Hello, 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 and good Monday morning. Welcome to this live English lesson here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've come here for the very, very first time, my name is Michael, and I'm an English teacher here in New York. Have you ever heard of that place? I guess so. Anyway, Mie, hello, good morning, welcome. Tefo, hi, thanks for coming. Tammy, hi, hi, hi. Glad you could make it. Sorry I couldn't last time, but I'm glad to be here with you today. Shivam, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a live English lesson. Hello, Fab. If it is Monday, the 28th of November, then you're probably watching this live. Elena, hi, welcome. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Peter is here. Hi, Peter. All the usual suspects. Naoko, hi, welcome. Thanks for joining today. Hello, Hadi. Much appreciated. I hope everybody had a good week and a good weekend. Have you studied over the weekend? Share what you've learned. What have you learned this past weekend? Did you learn anything? Did you learn any new vocabulary? Eid, merhaba, welcome. Where am I? I'm here. I'm in New York City, in New York. Actually, just outside of the city. I did the homework from you. Yes, you did. That's right. Tammy was busy this weekend studying English. What have you learned this week or this weekend? Did you learn any new vocabulary? Maybe you learned, I don't know, maybe you learned a new idiom or a phrasal verb. Maybe you were practicing grammar. Maybe you were reading a book. You were reading something in English. How about you? This is my stomping ground. That's right, my stomping ground. You're familiar. Not only are you familiar, if you say this is my, or these are my stomping grounds, sometimes we use that in the plural. This is my stomping ground means not only am I familiar with the area, but I go there quite often. I'm often there. So there's a place where I used to live in Sendai called Kokubuncho, and that was my stomping ground. Exuberate. I don't even know that word. Tell me, what's that word? I think you had a typo there, Tammy. How can I join at What's Up, sir, please? What do you mean, how can I join at What's Up? I'm not sure what you mean there, Shivan. I want to get around to all 47 pictures under my belt in Japan. Okay, so Mie, I want to get, you don't need around. So get something under my belt, right? Get something under my belt. As you know, I study Japanese. The Japanese language has many characters, and I want to get the characters under my belt. So we don't need around in that case. My comfort zone. Nailed it. What did we nail? What are we going to learn today? We are going to talk about, today we're going to talk about this topic, which is a cold versus sick. And also we're going to check out some cold idioms. That is coming up soon. Please have patience. If this is your first time here, this is how we start. It's in my backyard. It's in my neck of the woods. It's in my backyard, yeah. But my stomping ground has the idea that you're very familiar and you go there a lot. It's in my backyard. Oh, that coffee shop is in my backyard. That just means it's near me, near my house. A coworker of mine is such a pain in the neck. She's always breathing down my neck when I use the phone. Nice idioms. Where did you learn those, Stefo? A formal word to describe an illness that gets worse. Tammy, you gotta check the spelling. I don't think that's. Just look at the spelling there. Do you mean exasperate? Although I don't think that has that same meaning. Look at what you posted and check the spelling. That means if I want to chat with you for special, so how? It's impossible. Sorry to say. I get so many requests. People say, Michael, can we talk on WhatsApp? Michael, can we talk on Facebook Messenger? Michael, let's chat on Instagram. I'm very sorry. If I say yes to everyone to have a one-to-one chat all the time or sometimes, I won't have any time to do anything else but that. And so, in order to be fair to everybody, I'm sorry I don't have the ability to do that. Sorry. You should, if you're looking to practice English, what you should do is you should go to an app like italki or HelloTalk, and you can find language partners there, and you can practice your English that way. That's my best advice for you. All right. I'll make it up as I go along. Nice. I like that one. I have to give a speech on the fly, and I'm going to make it up as I go along. I'm not prepared, but I'll come up with something as I'll create it as I'm doing it. That's Hadi's example. I will make it up as I go along. Tefo, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. The fact that you were able to use both of those idioms in one sentence means you actually learned them. That's excellent. Exacerbate. Hang on one second. Yes. So exacerbate means to make a bad situation worse. Right? So Jack caught a cold, and because Jack likes to smoke, that exacerbated his situation. It's a very formal sounding word, but that's what it means. It made his cold worse. You sang karaoke with N and M. Wow. Excellent. Thank you. Chatting with you on Zoom class is fun. Thank you. That's right. If you join one of my memberships and my communities, you can chat with me on Zoom. That's how we do that. Also, the Telegram group is fun too. That's a very nice group of people. All right, so what we're going to do today is move ahead. So I would like to tell you this. If you've just joined, and if I am new to you, then why don't you join my free vocabulary workshop? Oops, yikes. So here, right, you can learn where and how to get new words to build your vocabulary, the best way to study those words, and how to own those words. So really how you can improve and remember vocabulary, and really remember that. And that's a free workshop. It's about 35 minutes of video. There's 4 videos, plus you'll get a couple of downloads, and yeah, there's a lot there. So if you're interested in that, then go to myhappyenglish.com, where you can also, you'll be on the list for my every Saturday English lessons by email. Is anyone here getting my English lessons by email? I know some of you are, because some of you reply to those, but not everybody does. I hope everybody here is on that list for just every Saturday. I send that out. Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, New York time, or the time where you are. I'm not sure where that is. Yes. Naoko is always sending her homework for that. Thank you very much. Tammy as well. So yeah, check that out. I hope those are useful and helpful. And you can be on that list by simply signing up for this workshop. Hello from Eastern Russia. Welcome. Can you tell me your name because I can't read that? Thank you, Tefo. Appreciate that. Also, whenever we have Ed S, hello. Whenever we have a YouTube class like this, you can go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube and you can download this document so you can study at home. How about that, huh? All free for you. Michael, you give away so many free things. Yes, I do. That's right. All right, so today, this is a request from somebody in my Telegram group. He said we should talk about this kind of vocabulary, and I thought it's cold season, probably a good idea. Bilar, hello, welcome, thanks for joining. If you've joined us here right now live on YouTube, it is Monday at 8:30 a.m. in New York almost. Feel free to drop a comment and say hello. Join the conversation. Hello, Jessica. Welcome. Thanks for coming today. All right, let's see what we can do with this vocabulary. A lot of people get this wrong. Okay, so I want to help. If you're confused about this, or maybe you didn't know you were confused and you were using this wrong, I want to help you with that. So, sick. Sick is an adjective. Sick means ill. I'm sick means I'm ill. And we usually use sick with the be verb, right? So, if you have a runny nose and a fever, you can say, I'm sick. Not, I have sick. I hear that all the time. People call me up and they say, like this, I go, hello? And they go, Michael? Yeah, it's Michael. Oh, listen, I'm sorry, but I have sick, so I can't have my lesson today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But not I have sick, I am sick. I am sick. Because, as I just mentioned, sick is an adjective. And we use an adjective in the be verb, right? I'm happy. I'm excited. Uh-oh. Sorry. Give me one moment. I have a dog emergency. feeling nice. So sorry about that. My little dog Rosie is sick, and so she had a bathroom emergency, which she had at 6 o'clock this morning, 2.5 hours ago. So I think she must have eaten something, and it didn't work with her stomach. She's not crying. No, that's Matt. You want to go downstairs too? Not easy being a pet owner and the only one home. So, so Rosie, she must have eaten something and it didn't, sometimes that happens, right? You have some food and it's not good in your stomach. And so I had to take care of that. Ay. Sorry for the interruption. Rosie is sick. My Sphinx cat likes to lick something wooden and get sick. Really? The problem that I have with especially her is Rosie, she's like the neighborhood vacuum cleaner. So she walks around, when I take her for a walk, her nose is right in the ground and she's checking everything and sometimes she eats something and I have no idea even what she ate. It's tough. Anyway, getting back to that. So Rosie is sick. John is sick today, so he's not going to school. I was sick all weekend, but I am feeling better now. Hadi said before, I'm sick of it. To be sick of something means you're tired of it. It's too much. I don't want to do that anymore. Thank you. Thanks for the well wishes, Tammy and Jessica. He called in sick, yes. So if we look at John, for example, maybe John goes to the office, right? But John can't go to the office today because he's sick. So we could say John called in sick. We also say John called out sick. All right, I'm going to type that in here. He called in sick, he called out sick. Both of those are the same. Both of those have the same meaning. If you call in sick or you call out sick, you're not going to the office today. John is feeling unwell. That's right. You could say that John is ill. What's the difference between ill and sick? So sick is more casual than ill. Grandma is ill. She's in the hospital. She's had 3 surgeries. She's very ill. But Tommy is sick. He caught a cold. And we're going to talk about catch a cold in a second. But that's the difference between sick and ill. Ill is more serious. If you say, I'm ill, it means maybe you have high blood pressure or a very serious disease. I have got a shivering cold. So shivering cold is different because cold also means the opposite of hot, right? So if you say, I am shivering cold, it means the temperature around me is very low. And so in that case, hottie, you need the be verb. I am shivering cold, okay? But we don't use shivering to describe a cold when it comes to illness. I want to talk about cold in a moment, okay? So hang in there with me. He's under the weather. That's another way to say that. I'm sick and tired of my current work. That's kind of like what Hadi said before. I'm sick of something. I'm sick and tired of that. It means I don't want it anymore. I don't want it anymore. I'm sick and tired of it. Thank you very much. And the Academy Award goes to, okay. So that's sick. And since sick is an adjective, you can use get or become or feel like that. I got sick on the cruise. I became sick after spending time in that elementary school. I feel a little sick. I think I'll go home early today. So we use sick, get sick, be sick, get sick, become sick, feel sick. All of those. Because again, the word sick is an adjective. Are you with me so far? All right. Just a moment. Okay. Just checking the signal. Okay. The key point here is you can't say, I have sick. All right? It doesn't work. That's the point. So you can't say I have sick. And I hear that all the time. I have sick. No. I am sick. I will call it a day. That means I'm going to stop working. Feel sick isn't a synonym of throw up. Right. I feel sick. We also use that. It means I want to throw up. I don't feel well means I feel sick. Correct. He is prone to seasickness. Who's that? I don't get seasickness. All right. But I feel under the weather. I'm under the weather, right? I'm under the weather means I don't feel well. That was me last week. That's correct. You are correct. Under the weather. Yep. And we do have a lot of, well, not a lot of idioms. We do have these idioms, right? I'm not well. I'm under the weather. I'm not myself today. I should do that. Let me just make a note. I should do a little lesson on. We should do a lesson on idioms about illness. That's a good idea. I just took a memo. Thank you, Nauko. All right, so that's that. On the other hand, a phrase I often say, cold is a noun. We use cold as a noun, and a cold means sickness. And because it's a noun, we need have. I have a cold, so I'm going to stay home from work. I have a cold. Hang on. I don't want to have... Why? Thank you. Why is that all of a sudden doing that? Okay. Kim had a cold last weekend. Ay. Why are we highlighting? so she didn't go to school. Jack had a cold all weekend, but he's feeling better now. All right? So, have a cold. And if your language, I'm not sure what language everybody speaks here, but if your language doesn't use little words like and the, here's a case where you have to use a cold. It's a set. We never say the cold. We never say I have an cold. I have the cold. We never say I have cold. I have a cold. I have a cold. I have a cold. It's not stressed. Okay? But we need a. I have a cold. Kim had a cold. Jack had a cold. Had a cold. The rhythm is important. What's the difference between all weekend and all the weekend? I don't think we use all the weekend. Sounds very old-fashioned or the weekend. What are you doing on the weekend? I think if we use all the time, all the weekend, I don't think we use that. I can't exactly give you a reason why, but we don't. All weekend. Let me take a note, see if I can figure out why. Tefo, you have piqued my curiosity. Yeah. All right. I took a note. I'm going to see if I can figure out why that is. I can't give you an answer why right off the top of my head. Okay, so that's how that goes. And just as a refresher, or maybe this is new, we use have when we talk about medical conditions and symptoms. Okay, we always use have. I have a runny nose. A runny nose. I have a runny nose means water is coming out of my nose. I have a headache means my head hurts. I have a sore throat means my throat is uncomfortable. I have a cold. I have a cold. So you can say, I am sick, or I have a cold. Okay? We use both. I'm coming down with something means I caught a cold. Yes, I'm coming down with something, or I came down with something has the same meaning. I'm coming down with something means I'm catching a cold. I'm getting sick. So coming down with that phrase means it's in progress. If you're sick now, if you have a fever now and a sore throat and a runny nose, you can't say I'm coming down with something. You can say I came down with something because it already happened. And that's an important concept that we're going to look at when we talk about that phrase, catch a cold. I was off sick 4 days with the flu. Ooh, sorry to hear that. In Spanish, we use a cold as well. Okay, come down with a cold. Right. Muscle pain. I have muscle pain. I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes. I have something else. Whatever it is. We always use have if there's a sickness, a medical condition, or a symptom of a medical condition. I have muscle pain. I have a sore back. I have what? Chicken pox. No, I don't. I have a fever. Okay. So that's how we talk about that. By the way, if you've just joined us and you think, wow, this is a very important document, I would like to have this document, Michael, then all you need to do is go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube, and you can download this document for free. Of course, you need to leave your email address and your name. You will also, once you do that, have access to all the previous lessons, and you'll be on my mailing list for every Saturday newsletter. English lessons in your email box. High fever, high blood sugar, right. High blood sugar, we call that diabetes. I have a temperature. Yep. I have a temperature, I have a fever. I have excruciating pain. That's correct. I have a temperature. And that's an interesting word, because temperature is the measurement, right? What's the temperature? Oh, the temperature outside is 40 degrees or 4 degrees Celsius. What's the temperature? If you want to bake a cake, the temperature should be 180 degrees Celsius. So, I don't know. I think. That's a guess. So, but if you say I have a temperature, that means I have a fever. So we use the word temperature to mean fever. And you'll hear people say that. Please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas. Starting with a cold and ending with pox. Oh my goodness. How would you describe some illness you told someone about before? Can it be with that or the? Yes. You could say, the cold I had last week came back. Or, that fever I had last week was terrible. Yeah. So that's the situation where we use the cold, right? And also, interestingly enough, we have a, influenza, right? Influenza. The nickname, hang on one second. The nickname of influenza is the flu. The flu. So, we don't say a flu, and we don't say an flu or flu. I have flu. I have the flu. Because the flu means influenza, and that's a specific disease. All right? So I have the flu. He's at home in bed, sick as a dog. That's right, very sick. Who is going to do this if you fall sick? That's right. High maintenance illness like type 1 diabetes, yes. We use have for every disease and illness. Yep. What does goosebumps mean? I have goosebumps. So if you're cold, or if you are cold, right? The temperature is -5 and you don't have a jacket, but you're outside. I'm cold. I have goosebumps. So your skin, right, has tiny bumps all over it because you are feeling cold. Or, you're nervous. You want to ask somebody for a date for the first time when you're 14 years old. I got goosebumps. It means I'm very nervous. What? I always have a headache with articles. Yes, I know. Articles do give you a headache. Lilia, hi. What's the temperature in New York today? It's not bad actually. I'll tell you. Give me a moment. I'll check the phone. It is 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. But this morning it was about 4, so it was a little cool. Thanks for asking. How about where you are? Which part of Eastern Russia are you in? In Omyakron? That's my favorite. I always have that in my phone. I think I told you that last time too. This city, Omyakon, is also in Eastern Russia, and -35 today. This is the coldest city in the world where people live. So I always keep that on my phone, and when I think, oh, gee, I'm very cold, but not as cold as they are. Oh, Habarovsk, okay. I used to work for a language school company that was a Japanese company, and we had an office there in Habarovsk. That's a popular place. Whenever I fly to Tokyo, they always show that on the map, so it must be a pretty big city. All right, so where did we go? I missed a couple of comments. Goosebumps, got that. When you're sick, you can say, I have the chills, or I got the chills. Yes. Yes. When you have a high fever, you feel cold, like you feel like you're chills. You feel chills. That's how we say that. I have the chills. It's a cold feeling. Yeah. So have plus a noun, the chills, right? I have the chills. I got the chills. Yep. I have a book. I got a book. The grammar works the same. What is terminal illness? A terminal illness is an illness that if you have that, you will not live. Because terminal means the end. When you get to the last station on the train line, they say, this is the terminal station, Penn Station. Like that. It's 0 Celsius in Toronto. Wow. If it is dry, they can easily withstand the cold temperature. Yeah, that's true. Although I don't know if minus 35 and dry, I think it's kind of like when you go to Las Vegas or Arizona, right? The temperature in the summer could be 110, could be 42 or 43 degrees Celsius. And people say, well, it's dry. Yeah, but it's still hot. I don't like the cold. By the way, in case you've just joined and this is your first time to meet me, nice to meet you. Things you should know about me. One is I have 2 dogs. And the other one is I hate the winter. Don't like the winter. Do not like cold weather. I hate being cold. And I don't like it. And have I said that I don't like the cold? Maybe. Gravely ill. That's right. Very, very sick. All right, let's return. So, now, this is the phrase that a lot of people seem to get wrong. Catch a cold. Catch a cold. Right? When you catch a cold, that idiom means to become sick. To become sick. Okay? The operative word, the key word here is to become sick. So, we usually use catch a cold in the past or the future. I caught a cold. I caught, past tense. I caught a cold means I'm sick right now. I could say this, if you go outside with wet hair on a cold day, you're going to catch a cold. You may catch a cold. That's the future. Okay? But sometimes people say, no, not there. Sometimes people say, I say, how do you feel? And they say, oh, I catch a cold. But catch means become. So that doesn't really make sense. Because I catch a cold is the present tense. And remember, we use the present tense to talk about habits and usual true situations. I catch a cold every winter. Little kids catch a cold easily. Okay? So this is what usually happens when you say catch a cold. I catch a cold every winter, which means that's my usual true situation. Little kids catch a cold easily. That's the usual true situations. But if you are sick now, right now, if you're sick, you would say, I caught a cold. I caught a cold. Means I'm sick now. When you go to the baseball game, you can say, I hope I catch a ball, and then the batter hits a foul ball. And I caught the ball. I caught it. Means I have it now, right? I caught the ball means I have the ball now. I caught a cold means I have a cold now. No, we do say I'm catching a cold because I think I'm catching a cold. I think I'm catching a cold means I'm becoming sick. But the thing that we never say, I mean, you can use any grammar, right? But the point is, I have never caught a cold on vacation, right? You can always use any grammar. The point is, what does the grammar mean? I catch a cold every winter is the usual situation. Sorry, I caught a cold. I caught a cold. I'm sick now. That's how the grammar works. What's the difference between catch and capture? Usually, you capture something that doesn't want to be caught. Okay? So if you are a spy and they catch you, they can say, we captured Tefo, the international spy. Or if you go to do your spying job, your boss will say, don't get captured. Okay? So you capture a person. You can capture an animal, right? There's a rabbit eating my vegetables in the garden, and I want to capture the rabbit and release him into the forest. That's the difference between catch and capture. We only use capture usually for people and animals. Although when you take a photo, you can say, I captured the sunset. So we use it for photography too. But we never say, I captured a cold. I caught a cold. Don't catch a cold. Does that make sense? Ask me questions. It's okay to ask questions. I believe when you watch the replay of this video, you can see the chat. So you'll be able to see that. All right, catch a cold. If you say, I catch a cold, again, that's the present tense. It seems like it's your habit. I catch a cold. Like all the time? Capture the moments by taking videos. Yes, so we use the word capture also for photography. Or videography, if you want to be particular. Precious moments. And not precious moments, too. So here's a couple more examples. John caught a cold last week. I caught a cold last weekend, but I'm feeling better now. If you go outside with wet hair, you may catch a cold. How do you say that someone makes you get a cold or something? Oh, that's a great question. You can say, right, I caught a cold from my sister, right? Or I caught a cold from my coworker. Like that. But we also say, and I don't know if this is British too, but in American English, my coworker gave me her cold. My wife gave me her cold. My husband gave me his cold. So he gave me his cold, she gave me her cold means I caught a cold from that person. So they were sick, and they came near me, and they went, and now I'm sick. She gave me her cold. Okay, so then Peter, you got good questions today. Peter says, what about this one? He made me sick. Okay? A person that makes you sick is a person that you don't like, and they make you feel uncomfortable and unhappy. So Make someone sick means to make them feel disgusted, to make them feel annoyed, to make them feel emotionally bad, right? My boss is always checking my work very carefully. He's breathing down my neck. He makes me sick. So somebody who makes you sick really annoys you. A contagious disease, yes. I got your cold. Yeah, we say that. I got your cold. I got your cold. I got my boss's cold. Yep. That's correct. So it's not an X, it's an OK. Transmit means give. That's correct. But only a doctor would say, if you have influenza, you can easily transmit influenza to your family members. It's very formal. We don't use that. The language we use is the language I'm covering here today. Cover your head. It's freezing outside. You may catch a cold. Right. Exactly. 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 All right. So that's how we talk about getting sick or catching a cold. Now, let's check out a couple of cold idioms. I love teaching idioms because they make your language colorful. They make your language sound more interesting. And the other reason is that people use idioms. So when you hear somebody speak or you watch a TV program, if you're a member of my Instagram subscribers group, you see I've got a lot of clips that I'm showing you about from movies or TV programs. I'm doing that with my learners community. Why don't you join my learners community? You can get all these lessons. And there are idioms that are used all the time in everyday English. So it's good to know them. You don't have to use them, but good to know them. Buckle up. It's nippy outside. You may catch a cold. Exactly. That's correct. That was last week, right? All right. You probably know this one. When you go cold turkey or quit cold turkey, it means you stop a bad habit immediately, not gradually. So if you're a smoker and you smoke 20 cigarettes a day, and then the next day you smoke 19, and then the next day you smoke 18, you gradually quit smoking. Okay? But if you're a smoker and you wake up in the morning and you go, okay, that's it, no more smoking for me, and you just suddenly quit, stop, immediately, we can say that you go cold turkey or you quit cold turkey. We use both. Joe quit drinking coffee cold turkey. How did I stop smoking? Well, I went cold turkey. So we use both. Cold turkey. Nothing like a cold turkey on Thanksgiving Day. Get it? That was a turkey joke. All right. Have you quit cold turkey recently? Do you know anybody that should? Anybody who thinks or you think maybe they should quit cold turkey? How about you? How about you? Some people talk only with idioms. That does happen. You don't want to only talk in idioms because that's not exactly effective communication. But they're good to know. Because think about it. Oh, he used to be a heavy smoker, yeah, but he went cold turkey. What? He went cold turkey? What? Just the sound of that doesn't make any sense. So that's why we use that. All right. That's why it's good to know idioms, I should say. All right. Let's talk about hell. Let's talk about hell. I want to quit staying up late cold turkey. Is it correct? Yes. You should stop. You should quit staying up late cold turkey. But don't go to sleep before my lesson finishes. Go or quit something cold turkey. You quit something. Oh, sorry. You quit something cold turkey. I quit smoking cold turkey. I quit drinking cold turkey. But we don't use the object when we use go. That's a good point. That is a good point. Let me just make a note there. I really enjoy spending time with you because you really, really ask good questions. All right. Does that make sense now, Cole? I quit smoking cold turkey many years ago, and I believe that was the only way. Me too. Me too. I started smoking when I was a teenager, and I quit when I was 25. And after I quit, I might have smoked 2 or 3 cigarettes here and there at a bar, but that was it. I think it's really difficult to quit smoking cold turkey. Yes, it does. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. That's not easy because it's a physical addiction and a mental addiction, right? You always have something in your hand, right? You've always got that cigarette in your hand, and you talk with it, and you go, hey, yeah, all right, I know. What do you think, Joe? You smoke it, take your cigarette, and you go, let me think about that for a minute. And you get used to communicating with that cigarette in your hand, right? So it becomes a habit, like emotionally, but also physically. In other words, your body needs the nicotine. Your body desires that because it's a drug. So that's what makes it difficult. All right. If you are a smoker, by the way, please quit cold turkey. Your older self will thank you. All right, let's move ahead. Let's talk about hell, shall we? Hell. If depending on where you are in the world, depending on your religious beliefs or your knowledge of things, there's heaven and hell. And hell, the image of hell is a very hot, fiery place. And so we use this phrase. So hell is a very hot place, right? So a cold day in hell? Never, right? Because hell is a hot place. So we say this, we use this idiom, we say, it will be a cold day in hell before I do that. Okay? It means I'm never going to do that. Never. Okay? And the grammar, for all of you grammar fans, is we say this, it will be a cold day in hell, followed by a sentence. So, that restaurant was terrible. It'll be a cold day in hell before I go there again. Means I will never go there again. Yes, I am still angry with Bob. It'll be a cold day in hell before I call him. How do you call us? Shh. What? Why can't I catch what you always say? I'm sorry, Fab. I'm not sure the context of your question. Out of the blue. Out of the blue means something happened unexpectedly. We don't use out of the blue when we talk about quitting a bad habit. He quit smoking out of the blue. It doesn't have the same nuance or the same idea. When pigs fly. When pigs fly. That's right. That restaurant is terrible. I'll go back there when pigs fly. That's another another similar idiom. I'll go back there. When pigs fly. Fab, I need context to answer that question for you. Sorry. Are you talking about what I said at the beginning of the class? When fish fly. I understand that, but I don't think we use that in American English. But I totally understand that. Okay. The last one for today is to have something down cold. I have it down cold. When you have something down cold, it means you know that thing very well. I have it down cold. Okay? Using Excel for me is easy. I have it down cold. I have it down cold. I know that. Well, I memorized my speech, so I have it down cold. I guess I'm ready for my presentation. I have it down cold. I have it down cold. Hopefully, you'll go back and study this video, and you'll also study this document, and you'll have this vocabulary down cold. If you have something down cold, it means you've memorized it. You know it very, very well. You have it down cold. All right. I hope you have this down cold. So, in the interest of time, you know something inside out. We use that too. That's correct. That is correct. All right. So, just to let you know two things before we go. If you'd like to get a copy of this document that we looked at today, all of this English here, all you need to do is go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube and you can download that for free. While you're there, why don't you sign up for my free vocabulary workshop? Okay? That's where you're going to learn where and how to get your new words, the best way to study those words, and how to own those words so you can remember them forever. And you can own that vocabulary. And that's a free workshop. Self-study, it comes with a PDF download and all sorts of other surprise goodies. I'm not going to tell you what those are. And just go to myhappyenglish.com and you'll see all of that. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for studying English with me today. I really, really, really appreciate that. Many of you have been here for the entire time, which is awesome. And do apologize for the dog emergency. But she's sleeping now, so I guess she'll be okay. All right, that's it. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for studying English with me. Many of you, especially you guys who come in the chat, are here every week, and I really, really appreciate that. Keep in mind that learning another language is not always easy, but it's not impossible. And I'm here to help you on your journey. Thank you so much for joining me today for this YouTube Live.